Hello everyone, welcome back to the TJOmega channel for day 1794 of our daily content grind. I've been coming to the realization that this week we're going to hit 1800, which is about 1700 longer than I thought I would make it. Oh, I got to plan something fun, but it's gonna be on a Sunday. Oh well, I'll figure it out later because this is news roundup day and we have a ton. Oh my god, there's so much that has come out in the last week. Let us start with the full official reveal of missing Link Soundwave, the very first new mold Decepticon we are getting in this line. I kind of predicted from the beginning this is the one we were going to get first. I mean, it has to be. Not only is it an incredibly popular character, but also probably the easiest one to redo as a missing link. As for a G1 toy, its articulation's already pretty good. It's not a hard design to replicate. It's pretty much just got all of the bells and whistles you need to just have a really nice missing link figure. But Takara showed off everything they're going to be doing with it, which is kind of cool because we got a lot of interesting things going on here. So there's two different versions. You can get toy-based and anime-based. That is pretty much standard with everything that they do with these toys at this point. And funny enough, we do have very distinct differences. So let me go over to the official stock photos so we can get a better look at everything. Toy accurate basically just looks like a better articulated version of the original figure. There is specific engineering in it to make the lamp mode, which is hysterical to me. Like literally his hips can collapse enough to connect them in the middle. That's actually really funny to do. Let's see, but no, this technically makes him a triple changer, which is the funniest thing. All right, so we have that, and we have, spot on Soundwave. The toy version is coming with the Scout drone. The one that I think has like one appearance in the show, and I think was prototyped at one point to have a toy. I can't remember. But the point is, it's never had a toy officially before, but it will with this release, which is kind of wild. I mean, that's a really cool thing to throw in. It's a really cool like little lost piece of these toys of like Soundwave's lineup that is actually getting some attention. That is actually really, really cool. And keep in mind, this is all scaled to the original toy line, so this will fit in your vintage Soundwave too, if you want that. Here's your comparison. At a quick glance, you probably wouldn't be able to tell the difference between these just on site. They are that close. I can see minute differences. Like, that obviously, like, sharpness of paint and little things like the rub sign being replaced by just a tampograph. Little things like that to tell it apart. Though, you know how Missing Link works at this point. Those are not stickers. That is sculpted and painted detail. In person, way easier. Comes with all the standard accessories, but it also comes with both, what seems to be a full set of headphones. Now, he doesn't play any kind of music. This is just kind of playing into his disguise. Frankly, I'll be honest with you, for as expensive as these toys get, I think that is entirely unnecessary. I don't know anyone who's really going to enjoy having that as an addition. Granted, there's got to be some people. I'm not saying it's a universal, but it is a little bit of a bloat to what is already going to be an expensive premium figure. Ridiculously outnumbered. You need to work on this. But yeah, it all looks really, really cool. So this is the toy accurate. Do I have these shots of the cartoon accurate? I don't think okay. Yes, I do. It's at the end of this. Okay. So cartoon accurate obviously replaces silver with the off-white. It's far more, bright and colorful. So the design, all the sticker detailing is gone. So yeah, very different flavor. If you prefer that for your Soundwave. What interests me the most is the cassette because it is Cybertronian Laserbeak. And I didn't even realize that was a thing I wanted until we got to this point. And I go, oh, wow, yeah, that actually has never had a design before. That's never had a physical toy before. I think it's hilarious how they tried to work his default guns into this. there's your difference. It's a pretty stark difference between the two. Yeah, so which are you nostalgic for, the toy or the cartoon? You have your flavors. Now, here is my issue with these. It is the fact that they do not come with their traditional Laserbeak or Buzzsaw cassettes. And both of them coming with unique cassettes means that if you really like your cassette bots, your recordicons, whatever you want to call them, you're going to have to get both of them just to get a hold of those molds. And that I do not like. And the fact that they are completely new molds on both for the cassettes tells me that Ravage, Laserbeak, Rumble, Frenzy, Ratbat, all your usual ones probably have to wait for them to come down the line as individual packs, which is going to be frustrating for collecting, but it is what it is. And then expect Sound Blaster at some point to also include something very annoying to get your hands on. I don't know. I think I would have preferred them throwing in like a traditional Laserbeak or something just so you have like a complete package without like forcing us to feel like this, like you gotta buy both pressure just because they threw in different versions of the cassettes. I would have preferred that to be a separate 2-pack and just come with different versions of Laserbeak. But that's just me. Still a fantastic looking piece. We got a shot of it at a show as well, just so you can see it in person. No surprise. Still looks really, really good. Yeah, 30,800 yen. Oof. Pricey boy. See, pricey boy, considering like there's like you need to buy 2 pressure here. That's what I do not like about this release. But that is just me. Let's move on to another absurdly expensive release. Optimus Machina announced a repaint of Predicon, which is not a thing I thought you could do. Predicon doesn't have a recolor unless you count Shattered Glass, and that's probably a stretch. But no, out of nowhere, they have announced Magna Regulus, which is a complete rehaul of the color scheme of Predicon to have police deco. There are police beasts now, which means a few things. Number one, well, let's just be blunt about this. Cops in Japan are far more respected, and this is far more popular over there. We'll just be, when that's all, we'll go into it. Don't talk about it in the comments section. I'm just pointing it out. But the fun thing about this is these are Autobots. It's hard to see because none of them have a close-up of their badge tampograph in order to actually see it for yourself. But I have seen images of it enough up close to go, yeah, like they're wearing Autobot symbols for a Predicon mold. That's kind of wild. This whole design is wild. Now, here's the thing. It doesn't look bad in the least. The asymmetry to the color works. The white, black, and gold, obviously, that's going to look good. Like, it just is. There's no avoiding that. And then we have other shots of it also on display. What show was it? I don't know what show this was at. Point being, we got a better look at it here. So there you can kind of see the Autobot symbol that's actually in the tampograph. Yeah, some of these are Dengeki Hobby photos, which are always tiny and terrible. But no, it's fascinating to see. It's an interesting experiment to release something like this in their collector's line. I'm very, very curious as to how much interest there actually is for something like this, which is essentially almost what we would get in the Unicron trilogy, an established character that's been repainted into someone completely new. Like, this is an interesting experiment. Doesn't look bad, but man, I think this might struggle a little bit. I'm curious to see where it goes. If it's successful, we'll get a bunch of wild stuff. So ultimately, I hope it succeeds, just so we can get weird things later on. More Takara announcements. So we have the official announcement for Predicon Rhinox at the Masterpiece scale. I am still waiting for a retail level Rhinox to actually get the Predicon color treatment. The fact that we've had the original Deluxe, the Thrilling 30, and now the Kingdom Rhinox, all of those, and none of them ever ended up in the Predicon color scheme despite being an entire episode, is wild to me. Those toys, like, some of those toys were never repainted outside of just deco upgrade, like Beast Wars Again Rhinox. No, this is our first like proper Predicon Rhinox repaint. And why did it take this long? And why did it take Masterpiece to do it? At Masterpiece level, unfortunately, for as long as I have been harping on about this particular deco, at the Masterpiece price point, I'm going to be out. Like, I would love this as some kind of weird, like, Kingdom repaint, Thrilling 30 repaint, whatever. But here, a little too pricey. But it's still a really cool thing to do. I'm glad we finally get to see it. So we get a brand new sword accessory, which is interesting. But we also get this mask accessory to replicate his mutant head from the original toy. And to separate him further as a Predacon from his original release, I think that's a pretty good inclusion. Whether you keep it just like as a head decoration or actually as a brand new head, either way is going to make him look different enough. You know, this is kind of where I'm like screaming about like, why didn't we get anything good for like a master, like out of Beast Wars anniversary from Takara or Hasbro? Like, this is nice. I do like that they finally did this, but I'm just staring at that Megatron and I'm going like reissue for the anniversary. Reissue for the anniversary. Beast Wars didn't happen in Japan until 1997, so I genuinely am counting on that. I never got that toy. And I don't want to pay aftermarket for it. Well, while we're at it, I need to re-release a Tigertron. Didn't get that one either. We've got the primary cast of Maximals and Black Arachnia. This is cool. This is cool though. I like that we finally have a toy of it, even if it's out of my price range. That said, this boy. Oh my god. Okay, so peeling back the curtain just a little bit. Obviously, from the TFW 2005 podcast, I am staff over at TFW 2005, and they invite us to send questions for the Hasbro team. And one of the things I wanted to ask about was the status of like the canceled Earthrise toys. You know, are we going, EarthSpark? I'm never not going to make that mistake. The EarthSpark toys of Cosmos and Spitfire. Like, are we actually going to get those, even though like they had stock photos, we kind of anticipated them, and then just radio silence. And I thought they'd end up in like the Authentics line as like a prime changer, like right there with like that overstock of Megatrons, Bumblebees, and Optimus Primes that you're seeing at your targets right now. I was hoping for that, but we didn't get an answer from the Hasbro team. Takara has the answer. They're releasing it as part of New Legends, which is really random and weird, but I appreciate it greatly. This Cosmos just looks like a fun toy. I don't care what you think of EarthSpark. This looks like a fun Cosmos. I kind of like big chunky boy Cosmos. My only regret here is that he is just deluxe sized when he was such a big boy in the show, when he has proportions that are supposed to make him look gargantuan. I am counting on some weird third-party company coming along and doing an upscale knockoff of this guy, because I would absolutely buy him at leader scale. I need him to tower over the rest of the cast. But on his own, yeah, I'm looking forward to this guy. I pre-ordered him the second it came up. No regrets whatsoever. I'm so excited this is going to exist. He just looks good. Wish it came out in time for like getting to meet Weird Al. I might have gotten to sign it. Oh, but that's not where the good news ends. Takara is coming to our rescue more than once here. Look at it. Look at it. That stupid Soundwave that we all went nuts trying to find and spent way too much on the aftermarket to get. It's actually going to be getting a release from Takara. And that not only means it's going to be a far more reliable release to get, they've upgraded the paint apps. The gun has actual paint apps on it now. There's little hits of silver and red in spots that were originally blank. They've actually gone to the effort of making him more screen accurate and just good in general. Guys, I did the review of this figure to let you guys know it was a really, really good toy, so you had a more informed opinion when you debated on the aftermarket price. For the price of the pre-order that this guy goes for, he is absolutely worth it. This is a fantastic figure. Like it kills me to think that like the EarthSpark toy line actually like had its hits and misses, but toward the end here with these two, like these last two new molds they came up with, and both of them should be a challenge in their own ways, and both of them are really, really good. And it makes me hurt just knowing like that cast of characters had such a chance to have better toys than we got, and they were forced to move on before they could do it. But no, it's thank you Takara for giving us a shot at these. Not that anyone from Takara is listening, but I'm so excited that this is going to be available. Okay, we have a lot of in-hand shots of upcoming stuff. We're going to breeze through quite a bit of it because we have talked about this more than once. Okay, so we've got Last Night Bumblebee, or Age of Extinction Bumblebee, I think this one was actually. Yeah, I'm still not big on this design. The car just kind of crumples up into the legs. It's a big shell former, and I'm not crazy about how it's engineered. We've talked about the cliff jumper before. We just get these nice photos from NotRab if you have not seen these yet. It's an okay cliff jumper, good to scale with the previous Bumblebee. I'm not entirely sure if I want to switch out from my buzzworthy release, but it is a nice looking cliff jumper, aside from that one gray blemish in the vehicle mode. That's always a thing with this mold, and it's always going to bother me. And it stands out so much more here, at least on Bumblebee. Like, it bled into the black windshields a little bit. No, not here. This doesn't work. And then the Soundwave, again, is just a super weird Soundwave. Yeah, and he's lanky, he's thin, he's big box chest boy with a very odd spaceship mode. I don't mind this spaceship mode for Soundwave, by the way. We've been over this before. I'm a defender of like flat spaceship Soundwave. But no, I'm still not completely sold on that. It's a weird design, but no, it looks different. I do keep saying I want different, right? All right, a little bit more in-hand stuff from NotRabs. So a little bit of the Energon Optimus Prime. I'm actually looking forward to that, despite the fears. Fangre's a rerun for those who didn't want to get the 4-pack, so we don't need to really look through him. Basically the same. There's Unicron Soldier. I'm still iffy on this one. So apparently some of this just got cited in the US. People are already starting to find Unicron Soldier on the shelves, which is wild to me, because that doesn't seem too far away from his original announcement. Yeah, this is going to be like a, if money's running good and I have nothing else to buy kind of purchase, just out of like the sheer weirdness of the toy and the design. I think what bothers me about this is that it's trying to do the Unicron trilogy, like Cybertron Unicron, without actually like pulling it off well. Like there's like elements of it, but like the cool parts, like the little muncher on the top of the vehicle is gone. I wish they had done something to actually like properly replace the cannon that goes in the middle. Just having his arms on top of the tank really detracts from this design. It makes it look like it's, you know, missing something. It is. It's missing a giant cannon because it's supposed to be a tank. So that's frustration. That is a frustration. Okay, Mega Zarak, which I'm still thrilled we got this as a repaint instead of just a rerun of Megatron like they were originally planning. This looks way nicer. This is way more interesting as a release. I kind of expect this one to be one of those that's like, since it's a last wave release for the line, I kind of expect this one to kind of linger and then find audience. It's either going to find audience later for the people who like the idea of getting a upgraded BotCon toy, or it's going to end up at Ross. It's like one or the other. Either it's going to be very sought after, you know, once it's off the shelves, or you're just going to be able to find it for 20 bucks everywhere you go. I don't think there's any in between there. Tailgate, I know, is out. I've seen the sighting report. I wanted to go out looking for it today, but I did not get the chance. He still looks really good. Vector Prime, I know, has also been sighted too. I'm turning the corner on that color scheme. I really do like how he looks here. And I do like the idea that like I'm starting to get behind the idea of like having this one around because it is look like a more ancient look. It looks like it fits in better with the 13 rather than the Cybertron colored one. So I'm a little bit iffy. I might actually grab this one. It was a skip for me, but I might actually do it now. It's grown on me. Okay, so beyond that, let's move into some other. There's so much news this week. I know we're already at 20 minutes. Thank you for sticking around for all this. I still have a lot of tabs to go. Hold on. We found a listing for Deluxe Airquake, which is probably a replacement name for Landquake from the original team. So don't read too far into it. It's probably a Brawl repaint with a new head. That's probably what it's probably just as simple as that. It's another Nexus Prime limb. And again, this still seems like this was thrown together at the last minute, despite what Hasbro says. But hey, at least the team's going to be complete. It's not going to be a great iteration of the team, but at least he's going to be a combiner. Maybe they still don't know what to do about a frame. They have, you can't tell me, like, in one breath, Hasbro says, oh no, this was the plan all along. And then the next breath goes, we're still on the fence about a frame. So you intended to make these guys an entire team all the way from the beginning of this mold's design, but you didn't figure out how to get a frame out there. This is not hard. You do a Gen Selects online release, Amazon Pulse thing of like a slightly redecoed version of that toy, you know, with like maybe some like better paint apps in like the combined mode to make it look a little bit more like the original one. And then you just pack it with a repaint of the Superion frame, the one you keep saying you have to use for this. We know it connects onto it in vehicle mode, so we know it's already suitable for it. It can already work. Just do that. That's not a hard thing to figure out. Moving on. There's a new issue of the Legends manga that Takara has released to promote the upcoming announced Cosmos and Soundwave. Now, these two are not due out until, I think, March. My pre-orders are going to come out in March. So these are, like, debuting in the manga well ahead of their actual release, which is fascinating. But if you want to see, eventually this will get scanlations. So if you want to see a little bit of adventure in this universe featuring our brand new releases, they are going to be available at some point. So just keep an eye out. They'll be out there. See, Eternal War mobile game is announced pre-registration, new chapter, trailer, creator content, like a lot of stuff has gotten released. So I'm not really following this one as much as I expected to. Okay, RPG adventure mobile game. Yeah, we've been kind of following it for almost 2 years now. And we're just now getting pre-registration up. But it's open for Android, iOS. You can do it in email. It's basically just to find out when it drops. There's a brand new original storyline written by Simon Furman where Autobot and Decepticons are forced to unite against a common enemy. I do like storylines like that. It does mean you get to play as Decepticons, which is kind of easy to skip over sometimes. But yeah, it's a ton of updates here. I'm not going to go and start playing videos for you, but go check them out on TFW 2005, see all the embeds, get an idea of what the storyline is going to be. This was the unfortunate news of the week. Kind of already talked about this in a previous video about them bungling the anniversaries of Beast Wars and the 86 movie by, only half supporting either. But we had this debacle with Target where, unfortunately, if you pre-ordered your More Than Meets the Eye stuff from Target, specifically Prowl, Starscream, and the Insecticons, all of those pre-orders got deleted. They've canceled all of them, and from what I have been told, it was just basically down to Hasbro didn't make enough of these figures. It was already very controversial to release Starscream as a store exclusive, but there is a logic to it, which I will reiterate. I've done it before, but we'll reiterate it because it's worth getting out there. In the previous line of Seekers, Starscream was the retail release, obviously, but Skywarp and Thundercracker were the Target exclusives, and everyone complained about how hard they were to find. So this flips the script to that. Now it's easy to find Thundercracker and Skywarp, but Starscream, that is the one that has to be a store exclusive now. In their weird bean counting way, in like the accountant's logic, this makes sense. because it gives you a fair chance to get characters that were hard to get before, you know, and it kind of gives like the character who always gets the first run of the toys a bit more of a break. But it does mean the best, like the most popular version of this mold is now going to be extremely frustrating to get your hands on. It's basically, if you didn't get it from Pulse, you have to find it online. You have to find it on foot in real stores. Good luck to you. I don't think this is going to be a permanent situation. I do think at some point this is going to get rectified because these characters are just way too popular. Either you will see another run of these hit target, or when the exclusivity window expires, you will see these rerun in the main line. This is not going to be a permanent situation, whether it's fixed in a couple months or whether it's fixed in a couple years. You will be able to get this figure. So don't go like paying scalper prices on it just yet. It's just a mess. It's just a mess. We've got a brand new DVD coming out of the Transformers and a movie from 1986 for the anniversary. This, we talked about this one a little bit too. So you get audio commentary with the director as well as story editor Flint Dilley and Susan Blue, RC. Comprehensive documentary looking back at the Transformers movie with the members of cast and crew, including Penn Doyle and cast member Greg Berger, Sue Blue, Neil Ross, Dave Galvazan, the writers, songwriter Stan Bush, composer Vince DiCola, and others. Featurettes for Death of Optimus Prime, cast cards, Transformers Q&A, animated storyboards, the actual trailers. Okay, so you do get a bunch of extras. We are hot off the heels of what PlayStation did to, what PlayStation's announcing about physical media. Also them deleting a lot of movies from people's online libraries. And now someone we just found out a guy had his Lord of the Rings movies deleted with no refunds in sight. Buy physical media. Okay? If you are buying digital, you are not buying. You are renting, and they will take it from you anytime they want without any kind of warning. You do not have the right to that, even though you should because you paid money. A DVD, a physical product, yes, there's nothing they can do to take that away from you. Buy physical releases. It's incredibly important. I am upset that this cover basically just like prime washes the entire movie. It's a weird way to phrase it. This cover is super weird. Aside from the fact that it completely like minimizes the 86 cast. You see a Hot Rod and RC are on it on the cover, extremely small and off to the sides. Optimus is the main focus. Of course, he doesn't survive the movie. You have Shockwave on the ground, which is not a thing that's ever happened. You have a shot of Megatron in the back, which looks to be traced from stock art of Megatron because it's the exact same pose with the exact same details that he's had before. I'm not crazy about the cover. The cover seems incredibly poorly thought out, but I still say support the physical media. It's very important right now. If you want to mourn Optimus Prime a little bit more, so the Battersea Transformers store is actually going to be holding a wake for Optimus Prime, which is hilarious. So this is happening on the 17th of September. Join us on this Transformers Day as we come to celebrate the life, legacy, and enduring heroism of Optimus Prime. Whether you've been here since the original animated series or discovered him through more recent adventures, a special evening is a chance for our fans to honor one of the greatest heroes of all time. So yeah, you are getting a memorial gift, commemorative order of service, exclusive screening of Transformers the movie, free drink, one free drink, tribute speeches from well-known Transformer influencers. I'm pretty sure that just means that we got some YouTubers from the UK to come over, which is fine. It's absolutely fine. There's some really cool guys over there that are probably going to do some, probably going to have very eloquent words to say about the movie, and then a goodie bag as well. So yeah, guests are encouraged to wear attire inspired by Optimus Prime. Hints of red and blue in order to honor the legendary Autobot leader. Someone please be the one to wear to just wear like black jeans and a gray shirt with Optimus Prime details like chest and belly and all that, like custom print with the battle damage and no color. Show up as dead Optimus Prime. Be the one. Someone be the one. They also sent out a big little treasure trove for particular websites and content creators to kind of show off a whole bunch of product from the Apology Tour. And it is what you expected to be. So you got the album. You got this really nice, neat box that shows the final battle and the aftermath. And then a whole bunch of free tchotchkes. So there's a Kranich. You get the battle damage Optimus and Megatron, which is really cool. You get look like a poster. Yeah, there's a ton of stuff included in this box. This is one of those things they give away to influencers to just as promotional thing. The kind of thing that never shows up on my doorstep despite promoting this brand for over 15 years. You know, I'm just saying. Then again, I do things like criticize how they've handled the anniversaries of Beast Wars and the movie. So I've probably made a lot of reasons why they don't send me these things. Okay, well, we are closing in on the end here. Again, I appreciate everyone sticking around for such a long video. This has been an incredibly busy news week. Blockies showing off their IDW Rodimus, which looks fantastic, and we get to see from the box a little bit of how Ultra Magnus looks there on the side. I love that they're doing a wave that's leaning into IDW designs. I cannot wait to see like everyone in the wave. The release date is August 17th. We do not have very long before this is getting released, and we will know everything that was going to be included, which I'm very, very excited to see the entire wave. But we do have wave for their upcoming wheels versions. So yeah, it is fascinating what they've chosen. So Ratchet and Ironhide, easy. Jazz, Wheeljack. Classics Cliff Jumper. Right with down to that really weird silver paint job. We got Full Tilt, we got Astro Train in train mode, who just kind of looks like a fun little toy train, if I'm going to be honest. Road Grabber out of nowhere. What do you mean? We threw a Pretender into this. And then, yeah, Classics Bumblebee and Animated Soundwave. It's a fascinating little set. And again, I love that Blockies just kind of pulls from wherever, completely unapologetically. It's fantastic to see. Puma has announced a new collab with Transformers, showing off some fashion for kids. And the weird thing is, this is the kind of stuff that I wish they did make for adults, because, like, we've seen it here on the news roundup. Like, when, like, adult fashion companies do Transformer-based stuff, it is either, like, high-end stuff that most are not going to wear day to day, like cufflinks, or or the like suits that have like really ugly print, full suit print, or full like Hawaiian shirt print, and it's it's not something that like I would wear. So like I just like a t-shirt with some graphics on it. If I'm gonna wear like shoes, I don't want them to, I want them to be a little bit more subtle, like these are. So that works. I like that. The pants are very subdued. Okay, the backpack's not, but backpacks can be more fun. They should be more fun. I don't mind that. That can be loud and colorful. The hoodie's cool. I like the design on it. Like, it's evergreen Bumblebee. It still looks neat. I don't get the flap cap. I don't get the panel hat look. I assume that's when it gets cold, you can unfold those and keep your ears from getting the wind, which is nice. Okay, I'll give you that. Yeah, like there's actually neat designs. I would absolutely take that Bumblebee shirt in an adult size. I would absolutely. I actually really like how that looks. Yeah, like it's frustrating to me. I feel like they just don't know how to handle like Transformer fashion for adults. Like, look at the Grimlock shoes. It's like perfect Dinobot colors without being like too over the top. This is cool. I like this. I don't know. Kids get to have all the fun, man. Why does this franchise I love so much have to be kid-focused? Just because it's a toy line. Okay, Ben Cooper has revealed more of their little costume figures that NECA has been producing. So, these are probably something you saw mixed in with all the collector's toys at the backside of Target near the electronics section, which I think is getting completely gutted as I speak, because like both like two different Targets of mine like barely have those anymore. They're kind of shuffling everything around. But the idea behind these, if you have not seen them before, is they are action figures based on costumes, Halloween costumes from the 80s, back when you had just a plastic mask and a plastic smock that did not look like the character you were supposed to be in costume for. It looked like you were just wearing a billboard advertising that particular brand. And you were. That's all you were at Halloween. You were a walking advertisement. You know, they didn't care about how accurate it looked. Plaster the logo, plaster the character art, call it done. So this is to kind of play into that style of costume from back in that era. They are very weird figures. They are not for me, but nice to see Transformers getting included because there were plenty of those. They did weird ones back then, like Superion had one of all characters. And to wrap us up, new blind boxes for Transformers are available. These are Transformer Volts Big Heads, which means they have evergreen design Transformer figurines with large heads, like this. And it's okay. I mean, he's got lips. Say that, he's got lips on him. What's fascinating to me is that like this like plastic puffy sticker, this is the exact same thing I was getting in the like you remember the video I did recently where I opened up those blind balls? This is the same exact sticker that was in those. So no, I don't know who's releasing these, but it seems like it's the exact same company. It feels like it's the exact same company and they're still unloading stuff that they printed from the first blind thing they did. Okay. Is that it? Did I miss anything? Is there anything else that popped up while I was rambling? No, there is not. Aside from the SDCC exclusives going up on Pulse, which I hate because I couldn't get them directly from the convention, and I don't have Pulse Premium anymore, so I can't order them today. But that's my griping aside. It's been way too long. We need to cap it off here, and I need to go rest my voice. So thank you all for listening to a very, very long news recap. As I said, tons went on, tons got announced. So let me know what your favorite thing in the comments was below, and I need to stop talking for a while. All right. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Hello everyone, I am Astral Agent Magnetar, a Tokusatsu VTuber, and I am streaming 4 times a week over on Twitch, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday afternoons, and a special late night one on late Friday/early Saturday. So come watch, come hang out, and let's make an impact together.